Okay, here we are back at the 1222 SE. A rare old girl. Made it for 2 years. This one came in for a master dial repair. That's this arrangement here. And a lower main shaft issue. Now this is common, so the purpose of this rebuild was to restore the phasing of the master dial to the index. The index is now at 12 o'clock where it should be. When the machine came in, the index had moved all the way down here to the 6 o'clock position, which means the mechanism has turned inside, and it was not supposed to. So that had to be disassembled and repaired and reassembled, and the phasing set. So when it came in, the needle position, which is the center dial here, there's symbols here for needle position. That's like an oblong circle with a dot in the middle or in one of the sides. That's representing the position of the needle as it goes down into the needle plate. The center is the center. Now if you move it to the left, the needle moves to the left side, back to center, and then to the right side. When the machine came in, it went to the right side, but you couldn't turn it backwards. And that's a dead giveaway that the bushing has moved. So where we are now is all the gauges, all of the phasing is done, and we're ready to sew this machine off. Before I do that, I want to show a little bit of what goes on up here. This is sometimes a little bit confusing. First of all, you want to pay attention to your needle position dial. These are the symbols on the top of the center dial. There's 3 of them. You'll see them also represented up on the button. Up on these buttons you'll see a representation of that symbol and the number 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is the stitch length range to create these stitches. So for all of these stitches, the center needle is used for the bottom 4, and the top one you would shift it to the left-hand needle position. What we have over here are the controls. This is a variable ratio cam which allows these stitches to be stretched out in length but still maintain their density. That was not possible for most companies, most sewing machines prior to electronics. The electronics allow that to be done easily. Back in this day, this was done mechanically, and it's an amazing apparatus that allows for that to be done. So the other thing that the SEs and the 1222s have that is a pretty good feature, sought after, but again this is in the old days, that feature is on this series, the 1200 series, referred to as a Stop-matic. This is your presser bar lifter. This lifts up the presser foot, allows you to put the fabric under the foot and begin to sew. I'm going to put a piece under there, and on this machine it was possible to raise the needle to its highest position by merely pushing the presser bar lifter this way. So if you were sitting in front of the machine, you'd be pushing it to the left. What that does is it brings the needle, I'm going to put the needle to about halfway. When I move the presser bar lifter to the left, it raises it to the top. The top needle, that's called top dead center. The purpose for that is 2. One is to line up for your needle threader. This is the needle threader here. It slides down. A hook comes through the back of the needle, little metal hook, and you grab the thread and it pulls it back. It also allows for the sewer to have completed a stitch and then just lift and take the fabric out. Without the possibility of raising it to the highest position, the machine will be in some part of the stitch cycle. So if you had the needle down here, or even just above the needle plate, you couldn't get the fabric out. You would have to turn the wheel by hand until it got up to the top, and then you could release it. I'll show that when we get it threaded up. That's the main feature with these. That's called a Stop-matic. Another amazing feature, considering this is an electrical, mechanical operation. So this was before electronics. So I'm going to get this one put together and ready to sew on it. Now this was a level 3, so we didn't take the machine completely apart, but we did take the bottom main shaft out, and we took the master dial assembly out. Now at this point I'm going to put the cover back on this machine, and that's how that's done. Now we're going to see how well this first maybe I'll run this machine before I thread the take-up lever, just so we can hear the sound level. That'll tell you a lot about the condition of the machine. I don't know how well you can hear that on camera, but that's a typical 1200 series sound. This machine has already been checked on a tachometer and is producing about 850 stitches a minute. The range is 800 to 900, so that's about dead in the middle. The needle threader, that's why you have a Stop-matic, so you can line up the needle threader. The needle threader creates a loop, and as a result of that operation, what you're actually doing is you're putting a metal hook in from behind the eye of the needle. You're grabbing the thread, pulling it through the eye of the needle, creating this loop. Well, what that means is you have to allow for 2 thicknesses of the thread, plus the thickness of the metal hook that comes through the back. Because of that, needle threaders typically don't work well on needle sizes below 80. Now I know most people are going to say, well, it's kind of dumb to have a needle threader that only threads large eye needles, like an above an 80. I'd have to agree with that. But there you have it. Machine companies want to have features, so they come up with features. Personally, I think we'd all be better off just another feature that I'll show later once we get this sewing. It's how great this top feed is. Some of the things you can do with it, or at least one thing you can do with it that's quite unusual. Okay, let's set my stitch length at 3. That's 3 millimeters, and ready to sew. Beautiful. Nice stitch. Nice stitch. Okay, so now we're going to go to wide zigzag. Stop-matic, raises up to the top, pull the fabric right out. Beautiful. Tension looks good. I'm going to do buttonhole now. Everybody hates buttonholes. Okay. I'm going to set her about yay. I'm not sure where it is. I want to shut my cam off on the top. Now, buttonhole, I'm setting it in this buttonhole range. It's from 0 to 1. Not quite to 1. And now the buttonhole symbol here with an arrow pointing up. That means to turn it. So I'm going to start my buttonhole by putting it there. You feel a distinct click right there. So here we go. I'm going to lower the tension a little, 1 number. I'm down to 3 now. buttonhole you write home, tell your mother about. Beautiful. Now, here's another way to really show the feature of a IDT, which is the dual feed that this brand is noted for. I'm going to take 6 thicknesses of the sewing thread that I had here. One is a rose color and one is white. So I have a strand now. I'm going to sew this and make, well, it's used for buttonhole cording to put down in the legs of the buttonhole to give a kind of a raised effect. It also helps for buttonholes that get a condition called fish mouth, where the buttonhole opens up and doesn't close anymore, so your buttons come undone easily. You can solve that problem by doing what we're going to do here. I'm going to get this started, and then we're going to make some cording. What I'm doing here is locating this thread in the center of the slot, of the needle plate slot. I'm going to engage my dual feed. I'm going to set my machine now for a middle of the road zigzag. Let's say I'm going to go with a 7. Once I get this started, as long as I hold some tension on this and guide the thread as it comes out the back, I can make cording. You can make cording any color you want, any size you want. You can make all kinds of spaghetti straps, things like that. You can make the material right on the machine. And now, Stop-matic, I'm up, cleared. Beautiful, look at that. So it's a tricky technique, but it's not that hard to learn. A little bit of practice, and this is easily done. And like I say, this could be a cording to put into your buttonhole. In order to do that, I would have to have a different presser foot for the buttonhole. But it is possible. It makes beautiful buttonholes, by the way. So now, I'm going to do something that this machine is pretty much noted for in the world, and that's the heavier stuff. I'm going to set my stitch length on 3. I'm going to bring my tension back up to 4. I got my dual feed engaged, and away we go. The sound level of the machine is the same. 2 thicknesses of this fabric, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 thicknesses of denim. We'll make a corner, make another corner, Stop-matic, release the thread, out it comes, beautiful. Okay, so we got 4. Let's see if we could go 8. That's pretty hefty. Let's see what happens. Same sound level, twice the thickness. Beautiful stitch quality. There you have it. So, this old girl is back to work. A great representation of the model 1222 SE. This is a collector's dream, this machine is. And that's it. It's back to work for this. Our next video is going to be of a model 1473 CD. And that one's coming up shortly. So, sit back and don't try this at home. When you do try it, take what's left, email us your model number and send it in to us, and we'll get you fixed up.